What's up guys, I'm back like I never left. In this video, you're going to be talking about NIO. I'm going to uncover the ugly truth about NIO, the future of this company, and why this stock actually been crashing to the downside. On Friday, we're going to go over exactly the short seller hit piece that came out, and I'm going to cover exactly what to expect for this company. And we're also going to be talking about Xpeng and Li Auto company too that reported their earnings. We're going to go over and compare their earning reports, so make sure you stay tuned. Now let's get right into the video. Before we get into the video, I'll appreciate if you can hit the like button. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. So on Friday, this hit piece came out from Citron Research. This is a company that was actually bullish 2 years ago when NIO stock was trading around $7. Of course, it was really a rough season for NIO over the past 2 years. The stock eventually was facing bankruptcy and it was trading below like $2 at some point in time. But as you can see, today right now it's really doing phenomenal. On Friday it hit above $50 before crashing, $10 to the downside. So the main thesis for Citron Research is based upon the competition Tesla. So Tesla could potentially lower their prices to compete with NIO in the Chinese market, and that can definitely affect the growth of NIO. So that is a very great point. Of course, Tesla came out when announced on a battery day they can potentially have vehicles available, which is approximately going to be around $25,000. And they can also lower the cost of the current available vehicles out there. So that is one of the main things that they're portraying right now, because if Tesla lowers their prices, that is going to definitely affect the revenue for NIO, because more people are going to be more attracted to buy an affordable Tesla instead of NIO, because Tesla is really the dominant force when it comes to electric vehicles. NIO is just a competing company that has been growing and expanding a lot. Of course, for NIO, it's been really expanding a lot. The delivery numbers are looking phenomenal, and they're projected to be profitable, within the next few years to come. But however, the most important thing you want to be looking at is that there's going to be a lot of competitions, not only coming from Tesla, which is an American company. There's also Chinese companies like Xpeng and Li Auto. So when competition becomes fierce, NIO has to come up with some form of discount or some form of vehicles that can be more attractive to customers. That's what they're trying to do right now when they're announcing new models, new battery technology that they're trying to implement. But however, the competition is becoming fierce, and that basically is going to affect, some of the revenue that NIO can potentially get in the future. So when we look at the other companies that their reported earnings for, let's say, for example, Li Auto and Xpeng, their revenue, their earnings reports was relatively good when you look at their guidance moving forward. So even though they're still losing, the majority of these companies are not profitable yet, but their projections are looking solid. Let's say, for example, for Li Auto, their earnings reports where they lost, 4 cents per share on revenue of 342 million. And also their guidance, when you look at that, is the most important thing moving forward. Li Auto forecasts for Q4 deliveries between 11,000 to 12,000 units. So that is going to be an increase of 27 to 38.6% for Q3. So that is still a respectable and solid number. And the revenues is also going to be projected to grow to the 457.8 million to 499.4 million, representing an increase of 23.9% to 35.1% from Q3. So that is still a great guidance that they gave. So that's why you see the stock price significantly gapped up to the upside when they announced their earnings. When you look at the other competition, which is Xpeng earnings, they also reported earnings last week. And one of the important things you want to be looking at is going to be what is their outlook reports. So when you look at their outlooks, Xpeng sees a Q4 delivery of 10,000 electric vehicles, up 211%, versus a year earlier revenue should hit 2.2 billion. That's going to be in a different currency, which is going to be equal to 332 million. And the Chinese EVRP has already said October deliveries hit 3,040. So that is really great, and that is one of the main things they want to be looking out for. So these companies are expanding a lot. They're getting market share. So it's not going to be only NIO and Tesla that is competing. So we have these other companies that are up and coming, and they're trying to get a share of the huge electric vehicle market share in China. So that's really great if you're somebody that wants to, buy vehicles in China. Of course, when you have these multiple electric vehicle companies that you can choose from, they're also going to be providing you with vehicles. They might lower their costs, to be more attractive, just like what Tesla can potentially do in the future. That is going to be phenomenal. But when you look at from a company perspective, like for NIO, the ugly truth is that there's going to be a lot of competition coming up, not only from, the dominant force right now, which is Tesla, but we have Xpeng and Li Auto. So that's going to be one of the things that you need to be watching out for if you're somebody that wants to get involved in this company. But of course, when you look at the technical analysis for these companies, that the Citron research, they're saying that this can potentially go to $25. That's their potential price target. Not a lot right now, as soon as possible, but for the future, within the next few, months, years to come, it could potentially go down to $25. And yesterday we talked about the analyst reports that they came out, and they're expecting the projection. The lowest is approximately $6, and the middle is around $23, $25. So that's exactly what they're projecting the price of NIO could potentially be. But the highest expectation, analysts expect the stock to be trading around $46. Of course, on Friday it went all the way up to $54.20, and it went pull back all the way down to close to $40. That's the $10 range. So that is really a very, very explosive day for NIO stock. Not only for NIO stock, for Li Auto, of course. They reported their earnings, as you can see, a hit of $40.81, and it pulled all the way down to $31. So that's exactly the similar kind of range when you look at it. And these Chinese EV companies really took a beating, even though they had a phenomenal morning when they initially gapped up. If you're somebody that kind of sold right at the morning, you could have made a profit, but they sold off significantly to the downside. So when you look at Xpeng, that's also similar type of price action that happened to these companies. So the most important thing you need to understand is if you want to get involved in any of these companies, understand that they're competing against each other, which is really good. Then that's fantastic if from the consumer perspective. But from somebody that is investing in these companies, when competition comes, they can potentially take some market share from the potential revenue that, for example, from NIO can potentially get. So that is the most important thing that you need to understand moving forward. So right now, if you're somebody that got involved in it for the long term, should you be worried about buying, holding, or getting involved in NIO stock at this current price point? Like currently, it's really important when you're actually getting involved in it right now for the pullback, you can still get involved in it. They have their earnings reports coming up pretty soon in November 17, and that could potentially make the stock price go up and down a lot. So there's going to be more volatility, like this kind of price action to happen pretty soon. So if you're somebody that wants to get involved in it right now, I suggest that you wait after their earnings reports, because we might see a similar kind of price action happening for this specific company. So, and if you're worried about some of the points that this company made, as I mentioned, a few years ago, they were bullish on NIO stock. So right now they're saying that they provide some evidence that they can potentially expect the stock to be trading around $25 as a price target because of the reasons that they mentioned. There's not even a lot of reasons, it's only that Tesla could potentially lower their prices, and that can affect the market share for NIO stock and some other important things that they mentioned. So be on the lookout for that. But on the short term, of course, if you're somebody that got involved in it for the swing trading, or you were in it for the day trading and things like that, if you're up significantly, if you don't believe in this company for the long term, definitely locking in profits is not going to really hurt you. So also the same thing goes for the other EV companies. When somebody is coming after, NIO stock, you have to also look into account that some of the thesis that they mentioned can also be applied to Li Auto and Xpeng too at the same time, because Tesla, if they lower their prices, these companies also can potentially feel the impact, so all these three companies can potentially be affected, like Xpeng, Li Auto, and NIO Motors can potentially be affected by that, so definitely take into account for that. But of course, the future is definitely for electric vehicle companies, and it's really super bright. Even though Tesla can lower their prices and things might have an impact in the short term, but of course, the majority of the world is going to be moving forward to electric vehicles. If they lose their market share in China, they can go to other countries and go to Africa, to India and things like that. So that can definitely be able for them to expand to other countries, and they can still be profitable, and they can come up with other type of designs of vehicles. And that can be one of the game-changing factors that these companies can produce to make them more dominant, more competing against Tesla. So that is the main things you want to be watching out for. So if you have any questions, any comments, make sure to drop in the comment section below, and let me know in the comment section if you believe some of the points that they mentioned over here from Nitron Research. If you agree, let me know in the comment section below. And if you're going to be planning to sell, and if you're going to be adding on this dip over here, also let me know in the comment section below. But I catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Peace out.